Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your October Soul Session. I am Marlowe if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. Y'all know your girl been going through health stuff and things of the sort, so I didn't record last month, so we're just hopping into these puppies. And don't be disturbed if you see me turn these over. This is the After Tarot, and I don't read them in the reverse because the deck is already in the reverse. So anywho, coming into October, my beautiful Geminis, we have the Nine of Wands. So that's my little PTSD card. But I feel like it's a lot of paranoia going on here. It's a lack of trust of people to help you on the journey that you're on right now. In particular, it's being a tad bit suspicious, but I feel like it's because you guys have been through buku stuff. And it's kind of like, this is my last leg to stand on. This is all I got. I ain't taking no chances. Like, this is what I know works. I'm sticking to this, and I'm not really letting anyone kind of come in on this. So it's really trying to maintain your boundaries, but be conscious of that because you don't want to operate like in a fear-based kind of energy. You feel what I'm saying? Because of course, with this being a 9, it's like whatever cycle it is that you guys have been in up to this point, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're going to the 10 of Wands where it's like that full-on release and transition, which is why I like to see the 6 of Swords. Okay, that's buku cards, child. But I mean, hell, they fell face up, so why not? All right. This is interesting. Okay, I can already tell y'all this is, oh my God, and this is literally like enough cards. This is weird. All right. The first thing that's coming to me is a relationship. I'm sorry. That's just what it is that I'm seeing. We have the 4 of Wands here. We have the Hierophant. That's of course Taurus energy. We have the 6 of Cups, and then we have the Lovers, and that is Gemini energy. So of course, all of this, this is probably going to be the shortest reading I do. All of this is culminating to a choice, my beautiful Geminis, because the whole thing is here. What this is saying, in order for you guys to get what it is that you want, you have to leave behind what it is that you had. So the first energy that's coming to me with this, even though I can see how this could relate to, work, career, all the things, I'm gonna go with the romantical thing that it is that I'm seeing first. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, if you look at a romantic partnership that you were in with someone, right? Or a friendship you were in, and you really didn't trust the person, you couldn't put your feet down in the connection, in the partnership, in the relationship, or even if this is a job, it's like, you don't know if tomorrow they're going to fire you. Like, do I really have job security? Can I really trust these people? Can I trust this person? And it's feeling like this sense of unrest. But I more or less feel that this is something where it's been happening for a long time, where you keep trying and keep trying. It's like you keep trying to breathe new life into the situation. You keep trying to get new inspiration about the situation. You keep trying to see it from a different perspective. And that's how you built up all of these wands. But now you're kind of at the point of you having like your leg to stand on, like your ace of wands, right? And you're holding on to that for dear life because it's like, yo, this is all I have left, right? Like, and that's like your spirit. That's like your spark, like the thing that keeps you going, right? That's all I have left. And it's like, I understand that you're trying to help. I understand that you're here, but it's like, I done been through too much type of deal, right? And I feel with this, it's still kind of being fixated on this in a past tense sense. Seeing this across from the 6 of Cups, it's like I'm seeing this duality. And this is going to sound so weird, Gemini, your reading is going to get really weird. Because if it would make sense to me if I were to put it into like a twin flame, not saying this is a twin flame reading, but if I were to put it into a twin flame dichotomy, it's like, how in the twin flame thing, people talk about a false twin, right? And like your real twin type of deal. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. And this would feel like to me like a false twin versus real twin type of thing. And I'm saying that proverbially speaking, like as a metaphor. You feel what I'm saying? So with this particular situation that you're in is like a false twin type of thing, not saying strictly romantic, but I mean with a job, whatever. It's like shit just feels kind of off, but you keep trying because it seems like it's a proverbial twin flame. Like it seems like it's your dream job. It seems like this is your dream roommate, landlord, partner, whatever the case, right? But there's a sense of unrest in you where it just doesn't feel right because you don't feel secure and you don't feel stable. And it's a paranoia because you don't know at any moment, like what mood this person is going to be in, if you're still going to have a job, whatever the case, right? So what I'm seeing with the Six of Swords, this is more or less you guys leaving this behind or taking a step back for you to get back to your sense of truth, clarity, stability, security. It's more or less because this is like, this is like cortisone. Cortisol, cortisone. This is like cortisol city. And cortisol is, of course, the stress hormone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's this buildup of things being consistently inconsistent. And I feel psychologically, energetically, it's fucking with you at this point. And it's a desperate desire to get to stable ground. So whether this is you taking, some PTO, a mental health day, week, you know what I'm saying? You kind of separating from this person to get away from like the conflict, to kind of get clear. I feel that's where the Four of Wands comes in. And it's more or less this realization. So like, and I'm seeing this two different ways. It's like either way, there's some of you who are taking a step back. There's some of you who've already made up your mind. But the whole key is whatever this is, that there's an unrest or an imbalance, which seems to be the theme for this wonderful Libra season that we're in, is once you guys get to stable ground, whether with yourself or you guys are like, fuck it, I'm just leaving anyway because I need stability. Like I can't keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you have a job where you're constantly like on call, it's like, it's making my nerves bad. Like I can't deal with that. But whatever the case, the whole key is you guys walking away from it, whether that's temporarily for you to just like get your sanity and your clarity back, or if it's you're making a decision to walk away from it. I'm seeing the Four of Wands more or less like a threshold, like it's almost like a portal shift in a sense. It's like you guys electing to sacrifice this, which puts y'all into the same thing I've been seeing for all the signs, which is this is not is paradigm shift. It's like Gemini taking the initiative to make the sacrifice to say, I don't give a shit if this were right or wrong for me. I don't like how it feels. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't feel safe. And I need to have something that's stable and something that's secure. I cannot deal with a job that may or may not call me to come in, because if they never call, then that means for the entire week I've been on edge, afraid to fall asleep or whatever, because they might call me and I don't want to miss a shift because I really need the money. Or even if this is owning your own business and it's like, I'm tired of my money being up and down, and it's like not knowing where, the next paycheck's going to come. Am I going to be able to pay bills, whatever? It's like saying, fuck it, I'm going to something that's more stable. That's where we get this harmony of the Four of Wands. And I feel like that's really what the whole point of this really was, is like, regardless if this is a job, a business, a friendship, whatever, it's like if something is consistently inconsistent, you have done all that you can possibly do and have paid the price for it being consistently inconsistent. And this would literally be Gemini opting out and saying, fuck it, dude, like I need something more stable. Like I just can't fool with it. You feel what I'm saying? And as you guys kind of ushering yourself into, so it's very similar to like what I saw for Taurus, where it's like, instead of you guys looking for someone to save you, you said, fuck it, I'm saving myself, right? So as you guys walking into like a more stable, like consistently consistent type of vibe, right? Now, with the Hierophant being here, that's exactly what I'm speaking about with this falling under this Nine of Wands, of this consistency. It's like there's some sort of traditionalism that Gemini is craving. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I bounce back and forth because it's different things I see this with. It's like, this is an unusual way of making money. Like, say if you were just gigging, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just driving Uber, you're doing Uber Eats, whatever the case. And it's like, I thought this was going to give me more freedom, but it actually feels more like a prison because it's inconsistent. And it's like thinking, oh, I thought the way to be was, to thumb my nose at the establishment and like consistency. Or if we're talking about a relationship, it's like, oh, being in a situationship, like being in a relationship that's not really a relationship because there's no title and things of the sort. And thinking like, oh, that's the progressive way to be, because we don't have ownership over people, blah, 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 right? It's like thinking about it in that perspective, but then realizing when you're in it, it's like, holy fucking shit. Even if it's like a poly type of thing, maybe you tried to do like a little polyamorous type of deal and you thought that was the CeeLo, bring another person in on your relationship, whatever the case. It's like, that's not my stilo. So it's more or less, and I think it's interesting. My guides are showing it to me like that because it's like the whole perspective that they're showing me of whoever this is that I'm talking to that resonates with this. It was like a misunderstanding of whatever path or journey that you're on, Gemini. Like, say if you just got woke or whatever, and you're living your whole spiritual life, and it's kind of like, I call it throwing baby Jesus out with the bathwater. It's like thinking like, okay, so, and I'm saying this hypothetically, like, I'm not Christian anymore. It's like, I'm like all in like the woke new age type of stuff, right? Like, this is my new thing. And it's like, there's freedom and like bump society, like, duh, right? So that, to me, how I look at it, but I mean, that's normal. Everybody does that. But how I always talk about the Likert scale, that's like literally you going from one side of the Likert scale to the other. And then both sides of those, that Likert scale are actually two sides of one coin, right? But you have to go to both sides in order for you to transcend that particular timeline. So it's kind of the thought of, and I'm saying this hypothetically, if I was talking to a Gemini person that was like a hardcore, like, Bible thumping Christian, getting everybody saved, things of the sort, you decide to leave the church. Now you go bam to the other side. It's like, I'm into occultism now, right? Like, I'm doing all of the things. I watch tarot readings and whatever, right? So it's the thought that as a Christian, you are supposed to date one person, not have sex, get married, and then have babies and 2.5 kids in the house with the picket fence and the things of the soul, right? So it's like thinking of that, archetype as what goes with that. So if I'm not that anymore, and I'm over here doing occultism and lighting candles and burning sage, right? Like, since you're doing that over here, it's the thought that we don't get married over here because we don't have ownership of people. We don't do titles and things of the sort because we're liberated. And all marriages is a construct created by society. And you just sign a contract and that's all it is. It's like all about the government winning from our marriages and us like filing joint taxes and stuff, right? So it's like thinking like that, but not taking into account the true meaning of the Hierophant, that of which would be your own goddamn personal values, because your own personal value system is your Bible, is your 10 Commandments, it's your society. It's the integrity that you live is in alignment with what your truth is. Like, fuck both of those sides of the goddamn coin because it's completely irrelevant. Because if you betraying yourself, then who really gives a shit? You feel what I'm saying? So it's very possible to do both. And that's how you transcend the timeline. Transcending the timeline is realizing, back to our scenario, once upon a time, I was a Christian and I believed I had to not have sex and like get married and da 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 da, right? And then you come to the other side of the Likert scale, which is what I'm seeing now. And it's just like, oh, it's like free love, everyone, like whatever. And then you wake up and you're like, wait a minute, I actually do believe in monogamy. That actually makes me feel safe. I kind of really don't fool with this. That's not my stilo, right? And then you realize you don't even have to do that because there are no rules except for the ones that you set. That's how you come to the middle, can't freaking talk, the middle of the Likert scale, and you have the potential to descend, which means I'm looking at both sides, what I learned on both sides, and now you you ascend and then thus transcend that particular timeline because you realize everything is everything. And you are the authority of your life. You are your own Hierophant, and you get to choose what the rules are. And you only align with people, situations, and circumstances that are very much in alignment with you, right? Which means that you can do occultism and the woo-woo and all the things and still believe in monogamy if you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do whatever the fuck you want. It's like, it's kind of like a la carte. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to Brown, making your own degree. You feel what I'm saying? It's that kind of vibe. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel with this Six of Cups, that's really what liberates you from your past. And almost like, and I've never even said this before with the Six of Cups, but I'm just going what my guides are saying. And I'm like, that makes sense. It's like, this would be the marriage of like adult you and your inner child, because that's really like what the whole issue was here. It's like you vacating your inner child that, is in alignment with what your personal moral code is, or you have like, an evil little inner child. I'm saying that kidding. That's like telling you like, no, should, ought, supposed to, this is what you're supposed to do. But whatever the case, it's an integration between the two, right? Because y'all are on the same team, because I feel this is more or less adult you may have been conditioned to believe that you need to be whatever kind of way, but like little you is like, we kind of don't jive with that. But I see this as like a reunion between the self, which takes us to the lovers. You feel what I'm saying? Did I say y'all was gonna be the shortest reading? Why it looked like y'all is the longest? Because I just look at the time, child, it's 33 minutes. That's too much. Moving right along. But anywho, but with the lovers, this is more or less the reunification with the self. And it's not choosing head or heart. It's you choosing both of them and allowing the heart to ascend to the state it's intended to be at, and the mind being in service to it. You feel what I'm saying? So this is all about you choosing you, Gemini. But anywho, that's been your soul session for the month of October. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't got no extended to this. I think I said that to y'all before, but let me know what you think in the comments. And I just looked at the time. It was 3333. Go Google that. I love your face. That's 2 6s. That's interesting. I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends. Bye, y'all.